There it comes. Reason number 7, it was a massive up.
Tales of wonder.
Right? Different things you do.
IQRA Kids TV.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome once again to IQRA Kids TV. IQRA meaning to read, to understand. Kids is you guys out there regardless of your age, and TV what you should be glued to. Now I don't know if you noticed, but I don't have my headphones on me at the moment, right? They're here somewhere, but I suspect that Beanie's probably got it, but you know what he's like, I don't want to say anything, so, but I'm gonna have to, right? Beanie's right there. I know you're never ever gonna see Beanie, okay? He's just too shy, right? But maybe I can get him to send my headphones over. Beanie, could you send the headphones over? Okay, he's been a bit stubborn. Beanie, please. Okay, I promise I'll buy you some sweets later on, okay? Yeah, he's nodding his head. That must be a good sign. Okay, throw my headphones, please. Thanks, Beanie. And sometime this year would be nice. Whoa! Thank you, Beanie. Right, okay. Let me just check the sound. Okay. Right, we've got another cracking show for you guys, so I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Thanks, Beanie.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome once again to Hot Topic, the show where we talk about issues which are important to you. Today we're going to talk about a topic which I am sure is very close to each and every one of you. I guarantee it, if I was to grab your phone and have a look at it, I bet I would probably see a few games. Would I see a few games? And if I went to your house, would I see a few games there, a few Call of Duties, a few, Sonic the Hedgehog? I'm sure I would. That is what we're going to be talking about today. Video games, everybody loves them. I've got some on my phone as well, so I'm not saying they're good or bad, but we are going to talk about the fact that some people do say that video games are good, some are bad. So what is the truth of it? Well, we're going to explore that by going into the pros and cons of computer video games. Now, to set the scene, as we always do, I like to read a hadith from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who said, the Messenger of Allah said, a strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than a weak believer. Although every individual possesses some sort of virtue, endeavor to participate in activities which will benefit you. That was narrated by Sahih Muslim. So obviously the Prophet didn't know about computer games, but of course he's always looking out for our welfare. He wants to make sure that we are spiritually, mentally, and physically well. So of course he's trying to cover a lot of bases. So how much do video games fall under this particular hadith? Do things which benefit us. So that might be a bit of a guideline. Right, so should we start with the positives? Let's start with 6 positive reasons that video games might be good for you and might even help you with your health and your mental ability. We're going to find out right now. Positive reason number 1 why video games might be good for you. It can improve your eyesight. According to some scientists, if you play video games in moderation, It can enable you to distinguish between different shades of color. So you can distinguish between one shade of green and another shade of green, one shade of blue and a different shade of blue. Because you're watching the game so much, you have to sometimes know what is a wall, what is a person, what is the sky, and other things like that in a particular scene. And you have to take that in very, very quickly like this, okay? So that's supposed to be one reason. Another thing about improving your eyesight, according to the experts, right, is that if you have something called a lazy eye, some people have one eye which is not as well looking as the other. They say if you cover your good eye and only use your lazy eye and play video games in moderation, it can improve the sight in your eye. Now, I haven't got the scientist here at the moment to confirm that. These are just ideas and things that people say. And maybe you've heard some of this stuff before, okay? But it's good to think about it and to really make a decision, because I know you're never going to stop playing video games. I'm not going to stop playing video games. But there are different types, okay? So it depends on what we are using them for and how they make us feel. So that was number one. Reason number two why they say video games can be good for you. They say it improves your ability to make social networks. Many a time, some of you may be playing Fortnite and you might be talking to somebody in Australia or Japan, Tokyo, Beijing, somebody in Addis Ababa, somebody in California. And what they're saying is that because everything in the world is now moving online, if you want to do a drop application, you could do it online. If you want to speak to somebody in Australia, you have to go online, you have to go on Zoom or Skype or something like that as well. Everything is going online. And that means, as part, and the games as well, it means that you are now getting used to speaking to people, making connections to people online, and the games are facilitating that. They're pushing you in that direction while you're having a bit of fun, while you're getting those points and picking up those coins. So they say it helps to increase your ability to make networks, which will be helpful for you later on in life when you go into a business. Because no doubts about it, no matter what business you do, you're going to have some kind of social media interaction with other people. As I said, across the world or maybe next door, whatever the case may be, you have to learn how to build those social interactions online. And they say computer games are one way of helping you to do that. Reason number 4 why they say video games might be good for you. Because it keeps you healthy, right? Now, if you think about, for example, games like the Wii, okay, where you're playing tennis or you're doing golf or you're doing baseball or whatever that, you are exerting yourself physically. And if you're a bit like me, I'll be honest with you, right? I'm not the greatest person at going out or walking down the canal for 2 hours and coming back every day or walking around the park. I'm a bit lazy, right? So if you're a bit like me, you're not going to get out of the house too often. So they say something like a Wii where you're playing and you're exerting yourself, you're building up a bit of a sweat, you know what I mean? You're stretching yourself a little bit, your limbs are being stretched out a bit. That is going to help you with your physical acuity, your ability to be a bit more physical. Therefore, if you're a bit more physical, then you're going to be a bit more healthy. Reason number 5 why they say that video games might be good for you in moderation is that it helps your brain to work faster. It helps your brain to work faster. That's what it says. And they say it can also slow down the aging process, okay? You will age slower because your mind is going, you're thinking, your fingers are going, you're involved in the game, you're a part of the game. You care about what's happening between you, the players, the other players, somebody you're speaking to in Tokyo, whatever the case is, but you are always, those neurons in your brain, they're always firing. There's always activity. So the more active your brain is, think about this, right? When you're tired and you want to go to bed, you can't think of anything. You're like, oh, I won't have to think about homework. You just want to turn your brain off, relax after a long day at school, and you just want to go to bed or just watch Veggie in front of the television, right? But if you want to actually do something important, you have to be alert. You have to be ready. You have to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as they say, right? So that means that there's a difference between being lazy and slow and your bones getting creaky and your mind slowing down and you being alert and active and ready to do and take on any particular type of challenge. So that is another reason why they say it's good for you. As part of the same reason why it is good for you, they say, is that it can help with depression. Now, I wouldn't think that many of you out there have depression, but some children do, unfortunately, for whatever reason, maybe problems at home or problems at school. But they say because you're playing the game and you're feeling positive about something, you're feeling good about getting those points or getting to that level, it can stave off some, not everything, it can stave off some of the onset of depression, and it can make you feel a little bit happier, a bit more positive that you've achieved something, no matter how short it may last, because you have to go to the next level and there's different challenges. Whatever game you're playing, if it's a shoot 'em up game or like the games I have on my phone, I have like a brain teaser game and I have like a crossword game on my phone, and it helps me to sort of think about things and I feel, ooh, I did it, ooh. So I have that kind of game, which is not a shoot up game, but no matter what game you have, you're gonna feel kind of good about it, and that can help a little bit with depression or sadness. Reason number 6, they say, is that it improves your quick decision-making skills. Remember I talked about going to bed and you're just like, oh, should I do this? Or and you're just so sluggish and just really tired and slow, okay? But if you're thinking quickly, if you're playing that game and you're making decisions very quickly, it does develop that mind of yours to think more quickly, to react to different situations and different scenarios. That is what they're talking about. The fact that you're thinking, that you're engaging in the activity is what is going to make it easier for you to think and make decisions. This is going to be a very important skill for you later on in life, when you're going to be, at some point, you're going to be confronted with different challenges in life. And these skills, they will help you to actually get better at making quick decisions. They say also, again, that those people that play video games in moderation, I have to always say that their brain power is 25% faster. There's a big numbers, 25% faster than everybody else's, because it makes sense. If you think about it, if you do your muscles over and over and over, you do your arm like that, you pick weights up every day, of course it's gonna get bigger. If you do anything repeatedly, you're gonna get better at that thing. So your brain is no different. If you're quick, if you're looking at something, you're making quick decisions and you're jumping over here and you're going here, or you're figuring out puzzles, your brain will become more active, and that is what they're talking about. And reason number 7, why they say computer games might be good for you. It says right here, it can replace naughty or bad habits, okay? Maybe you've got a habit of hanging out with your friends after school too much. Yeah, maybe you've got a habit of eating too much. And you want some kind of distraction. If only I was doing something, if I was doing something else, I could play a game. So that way it can distract you from doing things that you would be doing normally. Of course, there's going to be a flip side to that if you do it too much. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the cons, the negative aspects about playing video games. But for now, let's stick to this one, right? People who play video games, especially puzzle-based games like the ones I play, right, tend to stay in more than if they would normally, okay? They're gonna stay in more, they're gonna sit in front of the television more, or wherever they're playing it on, and not go out so much and do other things that they might be involved in normally. So there you go, guys, 7 reasons, and there could be more, 7 simple reasons why they say computer games can be good for you. Right, we've done the good stuff. We've talked about the positive aspects of it as well. Now we have to talk about the negative aspects. Okay, I know you guys out there thinking, oh, Khaleel, what are you gonna say now? I like playing my games. Oh. Look, just take it easy, okay? I'm just gonna suggest a few simple things here as well that you should think about, okay? Because like anything, and I've been stressing this over and over again, that we should do everything in moderation. Not too much, not too little, okay? Especially those things which are not like acts of ibadah. It's not like we're doing rakats or stuff like that. These are things that we could do. It wouldn't really make much difference to us. It's just a bit of pastime. It's a bit of fun. And I know some people can take it a bit too far, but it's supposed to be a bit of fun, okay? So number 1, it can create psychological stress. Video games can become an addiction, okay? This is well documented that people can get so involved in the game that they don't want to do anything else. They feel like their life is not worth anything if they're not actually playing that game, which is really, really quite sad, actually. And those people that are like that, we shouldn't look down at them. We should really try to understand that, you know, they're playing the game. Maybe there's something in their life that is really horrible. They just need a distraction. They need something to get away from it. And the games might be able to help them with that. And unfortunately, they may fall into an addiction like that. Gamers may suffer from low self-esteem, have social anxieties, or even suffer from depression, okay? See, it might be that they're just using the game as a form of masking their problems, of hiding their problems, whatever problems they're having in their life, and they're just playing the games to get away from it without dealing with the actual problem itself. So that is why, even though the game may be innocent in itself, it's a problem now because it's stopping you from dealing with those anxiety issues that you may be experiencing or feelings of depression that you're dealing with. You think, I feel so sad. Instead of seeking medical attention or making a dua or something like that as well, they go to the game. And that is only going to be a very, very short-term fix. Okay? Uncontrolled gaming can also enhance the signs and symptoms of other mental disorders that may be present, okay? It might exasperate, meaning it might make it worse. If you have underlying issues of depression and sadness and you don't know why and you just feel so down all the time, it could make those actually worse. Reason number 2 why they say that computer games might not be a good idea for you if you're going too far, okay? Long-term gaming can compromise personal health. Some may miss out on physical activities, exercise, and personal hygiene. Yeah, we've all seen pictures or videos of people sitting behind the table, watching it as well, eating nachos, drinking Red Bull, just going crazy and not getting up and doing that day after day after day after day, week after week after week, and not going out and getting exercise like they're supposed to do. Okay, so it can cause those physical problems. Gamers may also find their sleep habits have been interrupted because they're playing to all hours of the night. How is that going to impact your salah? How is that going to impact your time at school, waking up early? Or if you're a college student or a university student, it's going to be the same. It's going to have a massive impact on your ability to wake up, for 1, 2, to be fresh and alert, 3, to revise, 4, of course, to pray as well. If you're playing the games and you're just keep putting things off and you're playing up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because you've just got to get to that next level, it can be a serious issue. If long gaming sessions are being played, unhealthy foods may be consumed instead of healthy food. I mentioned that before. Stuff your face with crisp, chocolate and stuff like that. You know, not really going to the kitchen, drinking water, having a proper meal from your parents. It can very much impact in a negative way on your ability to eat proper food. Reason number 3 why for some people video games may be a problem. Remember, we're talking about people that go crazy on it. They're on it all the time. The detrimental effects can be it isolates people from their families. Again, if you are sitting in your bedroom and you're just playing the games, your friends come, you don't want to talk to them, your mom comes, you don't want to talk to her, you just go, oh, I'm trying to do something, right? I'm trying to get through this, even though you could pause it, but you don't want to pause it, right? It can separate you from your families. Parents who find themselves, and parents as well actually do that as well, find themselves playing games hour after hour, might find themselves losing touch with their children and vice versa. And I should mention as well, yes, this reminds me that it's not only kids that can be a bit obsessed with computer games. Parents can have that problem as well. Kids and teens who play video games over long periods might find themselves at odds with their parents over their behavior. Obviously, I spoke to a child just recently about this topic and they said, my mum hates the games. She goes, why? Because you never talk to us, but you're always playing the games. Instead of talking to us and having meaningful interaction, you're always playing the games, and it can begin to cause a friction. Reason number 4, and this is going to hit the pocket. It can be very expensive to buy the games to buy the console and to buy the game, or to have subscription, or to buy add-ons. This can put an enormous pressure on your pocket if you get pocket money, or the pockets of your parents or your guardians, okay? Because that is going to be a lot of money that is just being almost, for those of you who love games, are not going to be happy me saying this, throwing it down the drain, okay? Gaming consoles can be, and the games can be very expensive, and that expense that you're asking your parents to shell out to pay for it can then create more tension and complications in the family. Okay, they're gonna know, why do you want this money to do that? Didn't I give you money for this the other day? Why do you want more? Why do you want to subscribe to this game? Didn't I get it? Didn't you go through that level? So it can create problems, and you are so intent on playing that game that you think their questions are ridiculous. Of course I have to have the latest game. Of course I have to have it. Everyone else has got it. Thing has got it. Such and such has got it. The guy in Japan's got it. I have to get there and I have to have it as well. So that can also be a problem. Reason number 5 why games may be bad for some of you, right? It can limit academic progress. We mentioned this a little bit before about not doing your homework, not being able to focus and concentrate, because not just the fact that you're playing late, but it's also the fact that your mind is so consumed by it. Not everybody. For some people, this is a real issue, okay? It can cause your concentration levels to deteriorate because, yeah, you can concentrate on the game, you can figure out what the different colors are and what the different thing is happening, but when you leave that virtual world to interact with the real world, it can become a problem because it's no longer just you applying yourself to a cold machine that has these different interactions and scenarios. You're not talking to real people. Real people need real interaction, and if you're not used to doing that, then it can cause a problem. Okay, of course it's going to delay your studies. It's going to impact on your studies as well. It can also interfere with your salah, your namaz, of course. That should be at the top of this particular list here as well. Our acts of worship. Maybe you're playing in Ramadan. You don't even realize it's iftar, and you're just playing. You just grab a date quick and you're not even thinking about what you're doing. You're going through the motions like a robot. Maybe the time for Maghrib has come, you hear they're done, and you think, oh, it's time to go and pray. Let me just finish this level. And by the time you finish the level, maybe, or you decide to pause it, you go over there and you're praying so quickly, you just want to get it over and done with because you want to get back to the game. Okay, so that is a massive problem. If you find yourself in that situation where you're delaying your salah because you're playing a game, even if you're watching television, we're talking about games today, but this could also apply to different things, okay? But let's keep to the game topic, okay? If the game is preventing you from doing your namaz, then you need to seriously think about, how am I going to rectify this situation? And number 6 is it may limit your social interaction. Again, because you're stuck behind that television, stuck behind that console, you may be interacting with the people in Japan and China or South Africa or South America, but you're not going out meeting friends as much as you would normally do if you didn't have the games. You are sitting there and you are neglecting everybody else as well, and that can then make you what they call, the word is introvert, okay? You're so into yourself and what you're doing and the levels that you're on that you forget about everybody else, that they have feelings, they want to see you, that they have emotions too. And you just say, oh, they'll be okay, don't worry about it. I need to get this game done. So it makes you a bit selfish that way. It can make you a little bit selfish that you're not thinking of everybody else. Okay, it can even lead to having a gamer disconnect from the real world so that they can focus on the game, okay? The pros and cons of games are many. Of course, I've only touched on a few of them as well. So if you do find that you're in that situation, it might be difficult for you to admit it, but if you know somebody that is that way inclined, they can't seem to get off the game, they're always talking about it, and it is impacting and having a detrimental effect on their life, you need to have a word with them. Sit down and say, dudette, we need to sort this out, and we all like games, but you're going a bit far. And maybe they haven't got a problem, but if you see a sign in your friend or your brother or your sister, you should at least say something to try and help them out. Guys, as I said, I've just skimmed the surface of this particular topic, but guys, it is a real issue for a lot of people out there that they are suffering from game addiction. Anyway, guys, that is our hot topic for today. If you have any ideas, any topics you'd like us to cover here on Hot Topics, you just need to email me on the following email address, info@iqra.tv, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you guys soon. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. There you go, guys. Another show out of the way. Thank you, guys, once again for joining us here on IQRA Kids TV. If you have any feedback, that's the email address for your comments, your pictures of Beanie, and anything else you'd like to send to us. Our website is as follows, and of course our Instagram page, which all the pictures of Beanies should be on there as well. Send it to there, inshallah. Guys, on behalf of me and Beanie, wherever he's gone, take care. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, there he comes. Please, at number 7, it was a massive up.
Tales of wonder.
Right? Different things you do.
IQRA Kids TV.